Officially live. All right, everybody, good afternoon, good morning. If you are just joining us, nice to see you. Elizabeth, hello. Jenny, hello, nice to see you. Barry, hello to you. We are on Instagram, so I'm saying hello to people on Instagram. We're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn and Facebook and all these other places as well, which is really cool. Today is the third installment of the Road to PPM live. We are getting closer, guys. It's T-minus 29 days to the biggest event of the year. We will have 250 clinic owners. And to give you an idea of what that means, most people these days can't get 20 or 30 people to attend a live webinar that people can do from the comfort of their own home. The fact that we're going to have 250 people from all over the world is quite simply amazing. And I am in awe of the community that we've built and the team that I've got that is responsible for this. So well done to everybody. We're going to have people from Britain, from the United States, from Ireland, from Canada. We've got people from almost every part of the world, which is very, very cool. And today I thought I'd share with you some good insights to make you or to put you in the best possible place. It's the best possible place that you can get to when it comes to preparing for the event. It's a big deal for people, right? A lot bigger than it used to be. Let's put it that way. It's a lot bigger than it used to be. I've just been on a call recently and literally half an hour ago with my mastermind community and talked about this. The world inevitably changed as a result of COVID. And one of the things they changed, people got very, and take this the right way, lethargic, right? I'm just going to say it. They got very lethargic, very comfortable. Nobody likes to go out anymore. They like to do the Uber Eats and get everything delivered and stay at home now and just spend more time in the garden and paint the fence and all that boring stuff that, doesn't really do anything except it makes the fence look a bit nicer. Yippee. What we've noticed is that there is now a resurgence, a slow burning resurgence for people getting back to the community and face to face and people interactions, not hanging around on Zoom and hiding behind Zoom and sort of every now and again jumping into the webinar room and all of those types of things. So we are ecstatic to see the continued resurgence of people getting back in the room in the community. And PPM Live in October is going to be our biggest ever in-person event, which is a credit, like I said, a credit, but it also shows you where we are headed and the type of clinic owners that we attract. And there's no coincidence in that. We look for very honest, ambitious individuals who want to grow their business and realize you can't do it on your own. You can't do it from your bedroom. You can't do it from your clinic even. You can't grow a PT clinic by treating patients all day, every day. There's got to be some change. So today is about helping you, whether you're joining us live, whether you're on Instagram or whether you're on LinkedIn, or YouTube on my camera here. I've got 3 different cameras, or whether you're on my Zoom link, whether you are turning up at PPM for the very first time at a seminar like this, or whether you are a pro and you've been to many seminars, I'm going to share with you some personal strategies that I use to get these events maximum value. Jenny, just type into the chat. Elizabeth, obviously I'm familiar with you. Jenny, type into the chat if you can hear me. Just let me know that you're there and where your clinic is from and what country you're in and what type of clinic you've got, and I can do my best to help you. Feel free to take your camera off if you want. We are a very friendly bunch here. We're all friends. We're all friends. There's no judgment. It's a no judgment zone in this this place. So feel free to type into the chat so that I know that you're there. Jenny, wonderful. I think. Did we see you on the webinar, Jenny, at the weekend? Yeah, this is Jenny. Yeah, wonderful, fantastic. Thank you for that as well as for moving forward with us, and well done for Shauna. But yeah, nice to see you. So I thought I'll share some insights into what it's like to get ready, how I prepare professionally for events. I take it very serious, and here's what I think every time I go on an event. If I'm leaving my kids, it better be worth it, right? It better be worth it. And what I typically find is whatever conference I'm going to, wherever I'm going, it's not so much the speaker, it's not so much the event, it's ultimately how I prepare. I take personal ownership for everything, including going to an event. The reality is if I go to a conference for 3 days, it's impossible, right? It's laughable that I don't come back with at least one thing that changes my life or I can do to improve my business. And so I go with that mindset that I'm really looking for one thing. Now, what I do beforehand is I think about what's the one major problem I've got and what are the 2 minor problems that I've got. So if I'm going to a conference, what's the one big problem? Is it lead generation? Is it people? Is it leadership? Is it financial? Is it cash flow? Is it business model? Whatever problem I've got, I'll allocate that as my major problem. And then I work on the 2 minors above. And what that does is it sends little signals to my brain to tell me to look for information or talk to people about that thing. Tony Robbins is a huge mentor of mine, and he taught me very early, if you know you're looking for red, all of a sudden brown and orange looks red. And it's the way that the brain works that essentially if I'm looking for red, that what is probably pink behind Jennifer is red all of a sudden to me. And everything I see and everything I look at when I come to looking for red is all of a sudden around me. It's abundant. So if I know what the problem is I've got, my brain starts to scan for answers. So the whole idea of moving into an event like this, you just come looking for one thing. It's so easy to get overwhelmed, and I'll give you a little strategy for that as well as we talk. My personal journey for for seminars began in 2013, and I left my 4-week-old boy. At the time, it was end of October. He was born early October 4th, and I flew from London Heathrow to Chicago. So 9-hour flight, 6-hour jet lag difference, 4-week-old boy at home, and I flew to Chicago. It was actually an hour outside of Chicago to see a guy called Dan Kennedy, and I was nervous as hell. I'd never done anything like it. It cost me about $5,000, which was a significant investment at the time, factoring in flights and hotels and all of the time away from my clinic. It was probably more, but life changed. And at that point, I didn't really know how to deal with seminars. I didn't really know what they were. I just got juiced, and I knew that I felt good about heading towards something that was going to help me, and I had full confidence that it would. And I always arrive at any event or conference or webinar very optimistic that there's something in it that can help me, rather than I think the majority of the world, which is very pessimistic, looking for reasons things don't work. But since then, I've learned a lot, and that's what I'm going to try and share with you today. The point of a seminar now for me, as I've gone on and done more and more of these, and I probably attend 8 to 10 a year easily. The whole point of the seminar, if you like, and the whole point of being in a room with other individuals, I call them money-making collisions, right? It's so easy to look at a seminar and think, what's the agenda? And we've got people who haven't booked a ticket yet till I announce the agenda. And they'll probably be waiting quite a while because I never do announce the agenda. It's quite simply irrelevant, right? It's about growing a business. So whatever sessions we put on are obviously about growing a business. And we're going to tackle lead generation. We're going to tackle people. We'll tackle AI. We'll tackle business model. We'll talk about concierge. We're going to talk about all of the things that people need to help them grow their businesses. But the agenda is irrelevant. The agenda is tactical. The people that you meet are transformational. Nothing more true than that mindset when you attend to a seminar. The agenda is transactional. The people you meet are transformational. The only reason for attending seminars for me is the people I meet. And over the years, I've met people at seminars who've helped me a year after I'd met them, that had I not been at that seminar in Nashville or in Dallas or wherever it was, I wouldn't have been able to go to them for advice. Now, of course, the seminar's got to have some substance to it. So we're not saying that. But ultimately, how I think about seminars and conferences, the content is transactional. Transaction takes place. I paid my money. I got some good information. Where my life really changed is in the people that I met, or the kicker, I got inspired by. Either the people I got inspired by and the stories that I heard from them, or the people I met at the bar, in the elevator, at breakfast, at lunch, sat next to, just happened chance to do that. So I've adopted that mindset for very, very long time now. Content, transactional. The actual people that I meet, transformational. Two very, very different things. So I think more about seminars as money-making collisions. That I'm going to bump into people, whether it's the people who run the seminar, whether it's the people I sit next to, or whether it's the vendors, because ultimately those are the people that I'm going to use to grow my network. So today I've got a few things. I'm going to give you a brochure. Barry, have you got access to that, or do I just put it into the chat? We've gone and created this for you. Again, anybody on Instagram, to get into the chat, just type into the DMs of the live, and we can get you into the Zoom meeting. I put this together, and I'm very proud of it. Just type in, have a look in the chat there. It's a PDF. There are 10 people in there in that PDF. I'll walk you through it. There are 10 people in that PDF, right, that I've created, who each and every one of them will be at PPM. Every one of them will be at PPM. And every one of them started with me about 4 or 5 years ago, and probably came to an event like PPM and have gone on to build insanely profitable businesses. all called me with a story, needed to make money because on some of them were close to closing the doors, and babies were coming that they didn't have enough money for, or a landlord wanted more than they were allowed to or able to pay, and so on and so forth. Each and every one of those people will be at PPM Live that you can talk to, and each and every one of them will be more than willing to talk to you about their journey and their story, about how they went from X to Y. These guys have tremendous revenues. It could be 1.8, 2 million, $2.5 million revenues, but all of them started with me less than $500,000. And the average of most of my clients in this group are or is over $300,000 take-home pay, and none of them treat patients. So there's a phenomenal talent pool at PPM Live, and a story and a journey that you can tap into. Whether you want to talk to Jason Han, who will be on stage at the Physio Funnels America's Got Marketing Talent competition that's happening on day one. Kevin Vandy from San Jose. Ida joined from PPM 2 years ago. She joined my community after being in with us in PPM. Heavily insurance and massively in debt, to moving towards more and more cash pay products and services, to change that margin from 100% insurance, which in California is very difficult. Any of the states like New York or California, it's very difficult to run a 100% insurance business. She's on stage as well, talking about her story, courageous story from insurance to cash. No marketing skills, had been in business for 35 years before she made the decision to come across to us and really finally move in the right direction with the marketing system. Ellen Tomsick is on there as well, another one that would be entrenched and drowning in insurance, moving towards concierge and cash pay services, out of the typical traditional kind of business, if you like, which had her stuck. She's going to be there. Todd won last year's competition. He's our ultimate marketer at this point. Nearly a $2 million business with 99% insurance that is moving to his first goal is 12% of cash pay revenue. So we are working on that with Todd, doing tremendously well. You can talk to him about his journey. We've got Beth, who literally in June flipped a $1.5 million insurance business to, are you ready? Out, gone, Medicare, the lot. And we worked with Beth for 6 months on how she would transition from 100% insurance to completely cash and out of network. She's got a story to tell you. She's actually teaching the clinical skills day as well on the Saturday. Ricky Morgan is a relatively new business owner. If you scroll down your PDF, you can see Ricky. He joined us at PPM Live last year. He came to his first ever event. He was a brand new business owner. He's now making $40,000, $50,000 a month in less than 12 months in the cash pay services. Carrie's got a wonderful model, which is cash. It was Pilates, but realized that it's a complete drain and time's up, and has now moved towards concierge and regen services, $2 million business. Chris Garcia, I met Chris when he worked for a full-time mill clinic in San Diego, who is now running a 3-location, $1.5 million clinic. He doesn't treat a single patient, and has lovely margins. He's just moving into the stem cell recovery treatments as well for his clinic, very high margins. Jonathan joined me in 2017, actually, and runs a $2.2 million clinic these days, doesn't treat patients in Houston, the Woodlands. These guys have all got stories that started at around about $200,000 or $300,000, the cash pay guys, and the insurance guys, unfortunately, usually find me about $2 million when the anchor is firmly entrenched, and all of these insurance carriers are dictating the play, if you like. And the reason I share you them is they are all the beautifulest, most fantastic human beings I've ever met, and every one of them is on notice and very happy to play along. That if you have any questions when you get there, they're going to talk to you. Elizabeth, we can give you a name of 7, 8, I think, Brits at least in our mastermind community that we will put you in touch with before you come over for the event, who are English or Irish clinic owners who were very aware of the English model, if you like, and the challenge of the NHS and the pricing constraints and so on and so forth. So wherever you go around that event hall, you're going to bump into people who are doing very well. And the bit about my community, they're so open to talk to you. They are givers. They like to share, and they won't hold anything back from you. And most of them don't even care if their competitor turns up. It just doesn't. Nobody's bothered. Like we realize in the end, it all comes down to, will somebody implement, and that's the only difference that in the end actually makes the difference. So those are some people to find. When you get to PPM, go look for them and just ask them, like, tell me about your story. Tell me about your journey. What were the big lessons you've learned? First, the first question I'd ask these people, what do you like to drink? What do you like to drink? Tea, coffee, whiskey, IPA, beer, whatever you like to drink, tell me, because it's on me for the next hour. I want to know what you did to go from that 200 grand a year and not making the money that you wanted to making now margins of more than $300,000 a year and not touching any patients. That's the reality for you. I'm not saying it happens the next day after PPM, but I'm saying that's the journey that we're going to go on with you. Hello, Andy. Just type into the chat. Let me know a little bit about you and where you're from. That's the journey that we're going to go on with you when we start. And PPM is often just the place that people start with us. It just is a good excuse to come in and see what we're all about and see what the community is about and how we can help and serve you. And for you, you get to meet all of the people that have gone before you, the guinea pigs, if you like. Some of those clients were my very first early, let's say 20, 30 clients that trusted me at the time. And I didn't really have the credentials or the books or whatever I've got today. Who are now still with me 6 or 7 years later. We have different conversations these days about wealth and investing and houses and buying businesses and franchising and licensing and all of those good things. But at PPM, it's a great place for you to start for that very, very reason. So whatever you do, move heaven and earth to be there across that weekend. And same for you guys on Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube. Move heaven and earth to be there, because not for me, because of the money-making collisions that you'll have across the weekend. Somebody in that room has already walked your walk, and they are a better person to tell you about how they did it than I am. And I say this all along. I'll be the sizzle, if you like, or the icing on the cake, but the substance will be the community and the people. And that's the big thing when you get there, to the people that you're going to meet and the stories that they'll tell you and the mistakes that they've made that they'll share with you, the strategies that they're implementing that they're going through right now, whether you're trying to scale a 100% cash pay clinic or whether you're trying to get out of insurance or even just get 10, 20% more cash pay into your business. We know somebody who's gone and done what you want. And anybody that enrolls, we said this last week, if you book that ticket, we'll immediately call you and ask, what do you need from us? Who do you want to meet when you get there? What's the challenges that you've got? And we will pair you up with somebody that we know from working with them for 2 or 3 years has walked the walk that you need to walk across, whether it's dropping insurance, whether it's finding more predictable leads, whether it's scaling a cash practice past $1 million that actually doesn't need you. These are all of the things that we are doing and we've done for a long, long time now. So that hit list, there's many, many more. They were just the ones that I knew off the top of my head would inspire. And I know I've been on a good 3 to 5 year journey with us to get to where they are today. So the question would be this, and this is what I would think about if you are on the fence as you listen back, either on the replay or on live. Where else do you get to be in a room with people who have already solved your biggest problems? When all is said and done, when we create peer groups like this, and that's what a big event like this is about, it's a peer community getting together. And each individual gets to talk to somebody who has solved a problem that they have got. So all we need is a tiny touch of humility to go, actually, somebody in that room might have the answers to my problems. And that's what PPM is about. It's about putting you in a room with very smart and successful people. To me, it's only ever been about going to find connections and networks and talking to people who have solved the problems that I've got. I was at a mastermind myself in Orlando, actually. Luckily, it was the round robin for Orlando when I was there last week. And it was a magical experience. 15, 16 people, and you realize you're not on your own. It's not just you going through the people problem. It's not just you going through the profitability problem. It's not just you going through the leadership or organizational chart headaches. Other people have got these problems and they're solving it. All I've got to do is ask them, share my problem with them, and they'll tell me. They've got no reason to hold anything back from me. So little tips when you see the people in the rooms that we'll introduce you to. A couple of questions. I saw your story in the case studies. I'd love to know what actually made the difference for you. These are wonderful questions. So even if you're nervous about meeting people at events, here's some introductions. I saw your story in the case studies booklet, because that booklet will be given to every member, because these are the people that we've identified as chaperones. I saw your story in the case studies. I'd love to know what actually made the difference for you. Question number 2. Are you ready? If you were me, what would you focus on for the next 90 days? Question number 3, what would you stop doing if you were in my shoes? Question number 4, what do you see clinic owners wasting their time on most? 4 wonderful questions that would be worth coming to PPM for alone. If you were me, what would you focus on for the next 90 days? What would you stop doing if you were in my shoes? What do you see clinic owners wasting the most time on? And the 4th one, I saw your stories in the case studies. I'd love to know what actually made the difference for you. If we go and ask 3 people those questions, you'll have knowledge. Not just my clients. I'll have a team of 20 plus people there. And there will be somebody for you to talk to. Chris is on our coaching team, who's our scaling expert. He helps people grow. Chris sold a 14 location clinic for multi-millions. And he's our coaching expert for scalability and cash flow as well. Yeah, I'll drop that into the chat for you, Andy. Where are you from, Andy? Nice. I'm just putting that into the chat. What type of business is it? Cash or all insurance? How's it going? You like? Good for you. Good for you. Cash. Do you know what the slogan is of PPM, Andy? You ready? Cash over claims. Do you like that? Cash over claims. That's the angle of cash over claims. Those are your questions. Have you booked a seat? Are you coming? Have you booked yet? Well, there you go. Have a look in that. Yeah, have a look in that. Good. Yeah. Good for you. Nice to meet you. I don't think we spoke before. I know I spoke to Jennifer on Saturday, and we know Elizabeth. She's coming over to the event from England. So that PDF that I put in just to bring you into it as well. That's what I did there. Is I created a list of 10 clients that you could talk to when you get there. They've given us their permission to use them as the poster boys and girls, if you like, because they've worked with us for 3 to 5 years. So we know their story intimately. We know that they're successful and they're having fun and living life and not touching patients. There's a few in there. Beth, to bring you into Beth's story, if you have a quick look, she's just dropped, she's a multi-7-figure business, just dropped all insurance in the summer, mostly Medicare it was as well. So she's gone through an interesting period now, and how we got her ready to be able to drop what was 80% of her revenue was all Medicare. She was and is running like a like very much boomers and seniors, house fit, so people traditionally 60, 70 plus. So it was quite a big change for her, but the profitability in the business was pointless in the end after the latest round of cuts. So have a look on that document there. You might see some familiar faces, but all of those people will be there. And that's what those questions were for. If you see these people, I saw your story in the case studies. I'd love to know exactly what made the difference for you. If you were me, what would you do in the next 90 days? What would you stop doing if you were in my shoes? And what do you see clinic owners wasting their most time on? What we'll do as well, I said, if you book a ticket, we'll be on the phone very quickly. We'll get to know what your problem is, and we'll make sure we pair one of them up with you. So you have 2 or 3 people that, if you're trying to transition to cash, we'll get a size of your business and what the challenge is. It might be, how many staff have you got? That'll give me a good idea of your revenue. How many staff? Yeah. Just all insurance on your own. What's the goal now then? Just literally to scale back and have staff to grow the team, so you don't have to treat the patients. What's the goal? Yeah. Yeah. With other products, other services. Yeah. So the goal is to grow, but without you having to be in the treatment room every day. Good. All there for you. If you're at the event, the first day will be about lead generation, as always, the absolute staple of how we get new patients. Sorry, Saturday is about high impact marketing campaigns. What's happening on Facebook? What's happening on Google? What's happening with the classes that people are running inside of their of their workshops, how ChatGPT and AI now is changing search engines. So we'll give you some insights into that, how that is affecting websites. It's making a lot of websites redundant at the minute. So there's a good focus on lead gen and getting volume. And then day one, when I teach, I do the whole, I do about 70% of it across the weekend. And mine is going to be based around building a premium brand concierge service inside of any business, cash or insurance. What does it look like to create a almost membership style, high margin cash services inside of any business, whether it's insurance or whether it's cash? And if you're in insurance, the reality is it's easy to get higher volume. The challenge, obviously, you've got less margins. The place that a lot of clients are going if they've got high volume is outside of the scope of insurance services. So concierge basically sold to the 20% of your clients. So if you get 50 clients a month, 10 of them probably want something else, right? That's the ethos that we've helped business owners find inside of their business. You get 50 physio patients, but 10 of them probably want something else. And then how do you create something, and what is that you offer them for a high margin cash service that can't be billed by insurance? That's a lot of what it entails, because you can't really put it, and this is where we see people make the mistake. They'll say, I want some cash patients, right? Like, we can't run a Facebook ad and say, do you want to pay cash for PT? Right? Because like there ain't anybody in the world who's going to call or respond to that. Like they just don't. So it's harder to find cash PTs. What we do is slowly drop insurance so that we then have a increased likelihood that somebody can't use their insurance with you in a way of dealing with that conversation. But the way to do it safely, and this is what I always encourage the insurance businesses or the fledgling businesses, the way to do it safely is don't mess with your insurance at this point. Create something else for the people who came in for insurance. That is the easiest, like fastest, my goodness, way to do it. Use the business that you've already got that's probably successful and people love you to create a system so that for every 10 who comes through the door, 2 of them buy something else. That's it. That changes 100% insurance revenue to 85%, 75% margins. And you move from, I don't know, $90 reimbursements or whatever you get off Medicare, probably up there. I imagine typically the Connecticut's and New York and California, the reimbursements isn't great. Generally, we move from $95 reimbursements to $3,000 to $5,000 packages paid for in cash. Now, there might be a little bit of tech needed, a red light or a shockwave or something, but all of that's quite easy to get and put inside of your business. But everyone that we work with that's moving, I had Todd down here, a client of mine from Attleboro, actually from Massachusetts, not near you, but up there, and obviously up there in the Northeast, and nearly $2 million of insurance worth of revenue. He's on that document. The way that he's moving towards cash and to dilute that is to create that type of concierge model where he's got 100 plus clients coming through the doors every month, brand new. How do we find 20 of them and offer something else to those top 20 clients that love him, that love you? You've already got them, and that's the bit. You've just got to be encouraged to find them. So that's my teaching at PPM. That's what I'll be talking about. How do we build that inside of any business? Same for you, Elizabeth. It always baffles me as well, and I mean this respectfully. I get new businesses. They always go, I'm not ready. I'm just focused on volume. I go, do you know how many times I hear that? And I mean this to you, Andy, respectfully. Everybody tells me I'm focused on volume, and then 20 years later, can you guess what they're still focused on? And they've got a gun to their head. They might as well pull the trigger. It's like, because all their life, they're just, I need more volume. I need more volume. It's like, you need more profit. Like, that's it. Stop fucking looking for. Like, seriously, and I this little thing with you on the thing, Jennifer, on Friday. I'm like, don't fucking. I'm almost like saying, don't buy the fucking thing I'm selling you. It's like, you don't need patience. You need profit. That's it, right? How do we get profit in a business? And if you start with that mindset, magical things happen. If we start with volume, we end up with lots and lots of staff and lots of inefficiencies, lots and lots of payroll. And guess where all of your profit goes? It walks to the fucking car at 5 o'clock every day. That's where all of the profit in a big insurance business goes. It walks to the car at 5 o'clock. We need profitability strategies. Now, yes, we need patience. I'm not saying we don't. It's the lifeblood. We need leads. But what I try to get you into the mindset very early is how can I find profitability inside of this business? Keep it as small as possible to manage, but grow the profits. And take one client and double the amount they spend with me is the fastest way to go. And it's also the easiest. But everybody's entrenched in this volume. It's like, no, like we yes, leads, yes, a marketing system, yes, Google, Facebook, of course. But equally running alongside of that is what's the profitability play here, so that I don't end up again with, sounds like you let the staff go for a reason, right? And candidly, since just as two of my staff walk in, candidly, since COVID, managing staff, let's say it hasn't been easy. Present company excluded. Of course, these two are very, very different. I knew. Yep. Yeah. Right. And Barry's on the call. Barry's different. Barry's very, very different. Barry was with me pre-COVID, so he hadn't changed at all, literally, ever. But pre-COVID, right, it was like there was a bit of common sense in the world. Let's just put it in that, right? There was a little bit of work ethic, present company excluded, right? There's lots of work ethic in this building. But generally out there in the real world, in that world, there ain't. Nobody wants to do shit, man. Like that's the brutal reality. You think it's a Connecticut thing. Jenny thinks it's a New York thing, and Elizabeth thinks it's an English thing. It's a challenge, and your biggest constraint will be the service providers, the PTs or the clinician or whoever. That's going to be the only reason you don't grow that second clinic, Jenny. I'll tell you in a heartbeat. The patients thing is quite easy, right? Let's talk about the people thing. That's your problem. And when you come, 250 people will be in that room, right? And all they'll talk about 80% of the time, they think they're coming for patients, and all they're going to talk about is staff. Because in the end, you figure the marketing system out, is what I'm getting at. You'll figure out, Andy, the volume thing, and you'll realize you'll run into, I need more and more physios. And all of a sudden in New York, you're paying 120 grand a year for an average PT who can barely even look patients in the eye anymore, right? In Connecticut, it's probably the same amount of money, right? So we're going to have to be ready for that, is what I'm saying. And that's what I try to get you thinking about very, very early. It's profitability inside of that business. What's that business model? And whether you've got 10 patients right now, Andy, or Jenny in that new clinic, great. What's the model to get two of them very quickly to go from spending $1,500 with you to $4,000 with you? And in those two patients, we made more than the other 8 put together. Jenny sleeps well at night with that. And Andy and Elizabeth, it's the same with you. And that's the model and the mindset that I try to get you into across across my coaching and teaching. Where's the profit in it? And how do we build you a business that doesn't have you stuck inside of it and candidly at the mercy of 17 obnoxious, entitled staff members who don't give a shit. Like Jenny, I've fucking 40 of them, right? In 2 countries. Like what you'll find, I'll tell you the truth, Jenny, on everything, right? Even in the presence of my own staff, right? I'm not lying. Like again, I'm very good at managing staff and getting good people, right? But I appreciate what it's like out there. Like getting them to show up for work's one thing. Actually doing the fucking work when they're there, geez, that's another one, right? Like talk about another challenge altogether. So be prepared for that. I think my typical journey with a client, the first couple of years we master the marketing, right? And it's quite easy to plug that in after. Just stick at it for 12 to 18 months and it plugs itself in. Then the real challenge comes. Leadership, accountability, staff. So how do we keep these businesses small and neat and as tidy as possible, but making as much money as you possibly can? But at the same time, enjoying what you do and serving your clients, and all of those things are very, very important. But don't focus on that volume game, Andy, forever, because that's how you get to a 2 million. This is exactly true. That's how you get to a $1.8 million business with 1% profit margins. And when Medicare gets a little glitch in its system and can't be bothered to pay you and doesn't for 60 days, you're in a line of credit secured against your house. I know this story inside out. I consult with 350, 400 businesses at any one time in this thing I've created, whatever it is I've built. I know your story, and I know the path that you're going to step into. We call it the road to PPM, right? The path, the road is created for you. And every journey and every point in that journey has a set of rules and the things that are going to happen or not happen. And the guy that looks for volume gets the volume, by the way, like gets there and wakes up one day and goes, shit, I've got volume, but I've got 17 staff. Most of them are earning more money than I am. I've got loans out my ass, and I'm on 1% margins. And Medicare has just emailed me and said they're dropping the things from $98 to $93 next year. I'm out, right? I'm gone. I'm gone. There's the keys. Does anybody want to take it off me? So I hope you come, and I hope we get opportunity to work with you. We will we'll enlighten you, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. And hopefully you'd leave. Well, I'm certain you'll leave feeling better about yourself, and you'll have met a good chunk of people that are doing what you're doing wherever you're starting, and that will be the reason to come, not me. And I mean that, like, I'll have fun and teaching all that stuff, but the people I've built in this community are fabulous, and they're the reasons that people get there. Like the ticket price, whatever it is, a couple of $100, right? Whatever, right? Yeah, you got to pay for your flight and your hotel, but the real value for money is your people. And I hope that by Sunday afternoon you think, you know what, I feel better about myself. I can think a bit more clearly. I can see what I want, and most importantly, I know some people who are doing it. If you want to work with us after, great. Paul's team can help me. If not, at least you'll have some clarity and you'll have met some people, and we'll be here whenever you're ready. And that's really what the event is all about. So let us know whatever you guys want to do, if you've got any questions about the event. Last little thing from me on it. My coaches, I think I told you about Chris, Scale to 14 Clinics, Cash Flow. We've got Emma, who's our ops assistant specialist. She trains the ops managers in our community. So if you've got a manager or a number two in your office or in your life, Emma is in my team. She specializes in that integrator number two role. So she coaches our business owners, office managers, to be more effective and efficient and take more responsibility. So if you wanted to bring a staff member, or your wife, Andy, if she works with you in the business, Emma on all day Saturday has all of the ops managers and the staff in a room, working on taking more responsibility and how to become better at their jobs to the benefit of the leader. So that'll take place on the Saturday. Luke helps all of our staff, all of our members with recruitment and culture and management and leadership and KPIs and metrics. So he's there for you. Barry's there if you need any help with sales and conversions stuff. We're going to have a tech lab. So if you have any questions around technology, we have a breakout room all about tech. We have a live coaching zone going on. We have all of our vendors. We've got Shockwave, we've got Red Light, we've got Wearable Red Light, we've got StimPod. What else we got, Barry? Who are all of the vendors that people can talk to? So the companies are there, and the way that we do it, right? The vendors are important because a lot of our clients are selling the cash pay services with machines, right? They're selling machines essentially, rather than high cost humans. And the vendors are there, but what we teach you is then ultimately how to market these things and build a sales system inside your business. So the two things do work very, very well together. So you'll have vendors there, you'll have other clients there, and you'll have my staff there as well. A step-by-step plan for marketing problems to include cash-based services. You will get, I'm not going to say, and I can't lie to you, I'm not going to say there's going to be an absolute do this, do this, do that. There will be a in-depth session on day one, right? That will expose. This is the best thing I think I can do. I'm going to break down one of those clients on that list. I've got everything. I've worked with one of them. Well, I've worked with them all, but this particular one, I'm going to break down the model of how it was built from 200 grand to 1.5 million today. I know all of the hiring. I know, and I've got permission to share the P&L and the org chart and the scorecards and everything that business does, that I will then include the marketing of that business and what that business does to get to 1.5 million. So session one on day one, I'm calling it the ultimate or optimum cash pay model. That business is about 1.5 million and the owner makes 350 grand. And I know that to be a fact. I've got the profit and loss, and I will be showing it on stage and I will be showing the KPIs, and I'll be showing the marketing plan, and I'll be showing the marketing positioning of that business owner over the last 3 to 5 years. So that's my best answer for you. Rather than a do this, do this, do this, I'm actually going to do it in the context of breaking down a real business that will be in the room, and using their real data and their real facts. Talking about labor efficiency, how that person managed staff. Labor efficiency can go any higher than we advise everybody to get to about 2.2, 2.3 inside of the business, 4 or more for clinical skills. So there'll be a good overarching look at what a cash pay marketing service would look like. Andy, I don't know if that answers your question. So every dollar you spend, so Jennifer, if you're in insurance, you this is your lifeblood. Every dollar you spend on insurance or on staff, you've got to get at least 2.3 back dollars. In the clinical team, so if I take away the marketer, I take away the front desk, I take away the manager, I take away the finance assistant, I've got to get $1 I spend, I've got to get 4 back. That becomes the benchmark that we coach our clients on. We don't really care what your business looks like now. We care about how do we get it to that. If you told me, Jenny, your payroll revenue, I could tell you how much money you're making within a 10% margin of error based upon New York, right? If you tell me what the clinical ratio is, so if you take out all of the staff who touch patients more than 50% of their time, that's payroll dollars. So if you spend $1 on their salaries, you've got to get 4 back for you to be profitable. So when we start like that, we start at the end, right? I don't need to look at your profit and loss. I look at that number, and unless there's any wild, crazy expenses and business owner benefits going on, like, we can tell you whether or not you're profitable inside of that business. I've done it for 10 years with clients where you see the most profitable businesses, they have an average labor efficiency ratio of about 2.4, meaning every dollar they spend, they get 2.4 back. Their clinical team is a minimum of 3.5, the best of 4+. So we plug those benchmarks into the business and say, that's what we've got to hit, what needs to happen to get those benchmarks hit in the next 12 to 18 months. And from that, then we start to work, what do we sell? How much do we sell it for? Do we need all of these staff, et cetera, et cetera? Those are the frameworks. There's a guy called Greg Crabtree. He's actually speaking. He's my personal coach for numbers. He speaks at my events. He's there on Sunday. And he'll break down a lot of the businesses as well. So even if that interests you, that's going to be there for you across the weekend. So there's marketing, but there's numbers, and there's concierge, there's leadership, but most importantly, there's people who are doing what you want to do. That answer your question, Andy? Correct. How might it? How might it help? So yeah. My process starts with understanding what your constraint is currently. So my process starts with understanding what your current constraint is. What's the current problem inside of the business? For me to say you need this specific thing at this point, Andy, I couldn't do that. And I can't with Jenny, I can't with Elizabeth. Where I start with and breaking down a business, my hope is that everybody watches, I go, this business started at $200,000 5 years ago when they came to me. Here's the actions that they took. Here's the mistakes they made. Here was the specific marketing they used. Here was the hiring that they couldn't get right at $600,000 that kept them stuck there for 2 years. Here was the workshops that they plugged in. Here was the Facebook ad strategy. Here was the Google ad strategy that they used, so that I can show you what the roadmap is to potentially get to 1.5 million with, let's say, $300,000 in revenue, assuming that we take the same course of action. From that, my hope is that A, it inspires you that such a thing is possible, and B, you can start to go, that's coming to me next. I have to be conscious of that, or I might need to try that. I might need to start that. I might need to consider I need a marketing system, or I need to start running workshops to get 20 leads in every month. My hope is that by the end of that session or the end of that day, that's what you get. So you get more clarity on the journey that's in front of you, rather than what most are going to do is the same thing day in and day out, because they're just in an echo chamber of more volume or my reputation, or I'll just do this long enough for my customer service. I'm going to give you the real strategies that business did and has took, so that you can emulate. If at the end of it you said, you know what, I like the sound of this, can you help me with this specific thing? We can do it. Or you go, do you know what, I got what I needed, I think I can go and do that myself. And great, keep in touch and we'll help you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Coaching. Yeah, coaching. Yeah. Yeah. Coaching. Simple as that. If I've got I'll go on record as saying I'm probably the best marketer in this profession anywhere in the world. Period. Nobody even get close to me. Any ideas how I might have got there? No. Experience is a complete load of shit, Andy. If you want my absolute honest opinion, there's people who are significantly more experienced than me, who have been in the game for 20 years, 30 years, who couldn't write a sales page, couldn't write a book, couldn't do a webinar, couldn't do jack shit. I went away and I paid somebody to teach me how to do it. That's it. And I became a more skilled marketer and a more skilled business owner in a period of 2 or 3 years, because I bought my way there. I found a coach and I did what I was told. That's it. The experience thing is like the volume thing. The experience thing is I live till I'm 70 and I understand life. Well, I think people are proven that they don't understand life, right? At 60s and 70s and 80s, because they're still making the same fucking mistakes as they did in the 20s. Right? Andy, I'm no bullshit, and I'll give you. Ask me a question, I'll give it to you. It's not volume. You need profit, right? It's not good, and that's it. We can help you, and we would coach you if you were that. Let's call it attitudinally positive about what we do and what we are offering at the weekend. When you come, you might say at the end of it, 2 things will happen. You're going to go, Paul, you are completely full of shit, and I don't like any of what you've just said. And if that happens, I'll go, do you know what, Andy, I'm really sorry. There's a refund for your ticket, and how much was your airfare, and I'll fucking pay that out of my own pocket. Or you're going to go, Paul, thank you. This was amazing. Just what I needed. Got clarity. I see people who are doing what I'm doing. I've spoke to your team. They're lovely. They're honest. They're sincere. They're genuine. And you seem to know what you're doing. I'd like to move forward with you. And I'm going to invest in coaching with you, or a system, or whatever it is you need at that time. Our job is to get to know you, Andy. And if I do it over 4 days, by the end of it, you'll know what we're about and we'll know what you're about. And we'll sit down and go, here's your problem. What I showed you with that business, you're here right now. The next step is this one. It might not be marketing system you need, right? Again, for full disclosure, a $1 million business comes to us and go, I need more leads. And we go, you fucking don't. Are you kidding me? You've got no fucking money. We need to sort your staff out. We need to sort your business model out. We need to sort your cash flow out. And we need to sort your pricing out. You need coaching. A 200 grand business comes to us and goes, I need to do X. We go, no, you need leads. You need a marketing system. So based upon where you are is what we would say to you, what we can do to help you next. "23rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. 4 weeks tomorrow." Yes. The day that your life changes, Andy. Put it in the calendar as life changed that day, Andy. Andy went from looking for volume to looking to make money. Yeah. I'm messing. Good for you. Yeah. I get it. Again, I won't ask you on this call because I don't know you. But depending upon where your revenue is, that's what you need, because that'll determine the challenge that you've got. Much like I can pretty much, if Jennifer give me their ratio and told me how many staff, I'd know what she's making. It's so predictable. It's just a framework that you plug into. And if I'm at this level of revenue, I need this next. So chances are you do need a marketing system and you need leads, and it could be Facebook or it could be a monthly workshop that you need to get somebody to do for you, and you need to show up and teach at it. Like that could be what you need next. It could be Google ads, depending upon where you are. We might look at that and go, do you know what? Big city, very competitive, very expensive up there in Connecticut. Oh, I don't know if I'd spend my money there, Andy, because that's probably going to be $3,000 or $4,000 on Google up there. Now, if I'm in New Orleans, I don't know, like somewhere in a small little town, it's probably going to cost me $800. What might cost you $4,000 in Connecticut? And these are true things that go on in the US, where when you see your what works for one business doesn't always exactly work for the other because of the costs involved. If it's small towns, workshop works fantastic. If it's big cities, you might have to get less people in, but higher prices. Do you know what I mean? There's different ways to get you there, and that's, once we get to know you, that's what we can help you with. That's my point. If you think I'm full of shit, walk up to me. I'll be there all weekend. I'll write you a check out my own pocket for your money back and your flight. Right? That's my honest. If you've had a good time, just come up and tell me. My team will have loved you and look after you and made you feel very special. And that's the goal of what we do whenever you come in. And if at the end of it you like it, you go, actually, what can you do to help me? We'll try and advise you as best we can. So at least you know on the Sunday what you need. And if it's us to help you or somebody else to help you or whatever, then that's what you're going to get from it. Use the code. Have you got that code there? Is it ROAD, Barry? What's the code? Yeah, use ROAD. So go to the order form, Andy. If you use ROAD today, ROAD, I think you get, is it $200, $150 off? $150. There you go. $150 off any of the tickets. The 4-day one with me, 12 till 5 on the Thursday. Are you coming to that one, Jenny? Aren't you? I think I heard that you were coming, and to the Friday, aren't you? And then you're going on the Friday night home. Amazing. Fantastic. Yeah. So you'll get the concierge thing for most of the day, which is good for you. Andy, I'm doing the pre-day on my own with 25-30 max, 12 till 5. That's on workshops. So if you want to do the pre-day, you'll get me 12 till 5 and the room. So that's just me in a separate area. We start on the Friday morning at 9:30, the main day, and it goes right through till 4 o'clock on Sunday. Bring your wife. Tell me about it. I do it all. I plug myself into IV drips around about 8 o'clock on the Sunday night, but I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's what else have we got? We've got a recovery lounge, so we have a massage suite area for you, Andy, if it gets a little bit too much. We've got, you think I'm joking? Well, I know what you're going to go through. We have the drinks on tap on a Saturday afternoon and a Friday, just to calm everybody's nerves. We get the vodka out. Well, it's actually margarita because you're coming to Florida, so we calm you down a little bit. We've got Jennifer's thinking, can I stay on Saturday? She's like, this wedding? Do I have to go to this wedding? This sounds a lot more fun. I thought I was going to a business conference. Paul's putting on a show. He does. Full on entertainment. Celebrities. Yeah, because you'll have had too many margaritas on the Friday night. There you go. Full on conference. We have a celebrity speaker on the Saturday night at 7 o'clock who's amazing. I've got the CEO recovery lounge for you. What else we got? We've got the ops manager track. You might want to bring your wife if she helps you with the admin stuff. I'm sure she'll help you. I'm sure she'll find that valuable. We also have a clinicians track as well. So if you, Jennifer, I don't know if you want to bring in, we have a clinicians track as well on the Saturday. So yeah, that's what's going on, and we'll finish around about 4 o'clock on the Sunday. Plenty of opportunity to talk to the team and people and take all of the information that you need across and home. And if you want to do anything else with us after the weekend blends, then great. Yeah. Yeah. No, 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 no. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah. Yes. Yes is the answer. Yes. Yes. You will be able to log in as well live, just between me and you. We don't advertise that, but it might be a login thing if we can get it set up. It depends on what the hotel charges. They are since COVID. They are it's almost like a racket that they've done for Wi-Fi access, and we negotiate like crazy up until the last minute on what the prices are. To give you context, the Wi-Fi before COVID used to be about $2,000 for an event like this. You're paying anything up to like 30, 40 grand now for Wi-Fi, because the hotels know that you don't come if the Wi-Fi is cheap, if that makes sense. So we never agreed to pay it until the end, and if we can negotiate with them, so we might even have a login for you at some point. But you'll definitely get the recordings. Yeah, and that's why we don't. People ask all the time, "Can you do it live?" And I'm like, I can't guarantee it because of the price. It depends on how the hotel is feeling. We just flat out say no to them at the start, that we're not going to pay it, and then as we get there, we see if we can negotiate with them for Wi-Fi to be able. We can get easy access Wi-Fi, but to stream like the types, it's you have to plug all sorts of stuff in to keep it. So since COVID, they've gone crazy. So because they know people are not coming to hotels, so they're not filling up their rooms. So they get their money back on the room by charging extortionate for the Wi-Fi. All the fun and game of events. Nate, nice to see you. Long time no see. How are you? Andy, any more questions on any of that? Oh, come on. Do you need patience? Do you need patience? I can feel it. I can feel it, Andy. There's an undercurrent. There's an undercurrent. You want to get on with this faster than it's currently happening. So full transparency, it's private practice marketing. It's physical therapists because I'm a physio. I was, right, but is the chiros there? Yes. OTs, dentists. 75% of the room are physical therapists, right? Candidly, but chiros are there, OTs are there, massage therapy is there, dentists are there. Anybody under the banner of a patient, basically, that comes through the door. You'll never hear me talk about a PT or a physical therapist. I talk about strategies, like a business strategies for marketing and sales. What else? Come on, hit me. In paradise. In a warmer place than you would be in Connecticut in October, that's for sure. This is real paradise. Orlando, Florida, right next to SeaWorld. 20 minutes from Orlando International Airport. Yeah. I know. Well, yeah, good. Well, that's okay. Yeah, it's me or Mickey, one of the two. Yeah, me or Mickey. It's funny, I've picked up on that, and I can get it. But I must say, since COVID, you've all started coming down here. My prices have gone up since you lot arrived. That's for sure. Connecticut and New York and Boston, you've all started piling in because the taxes are a bit cheaper down here. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Just had the review. God bless the hurricanes. Sent it through the roof. Yeah. Yeah. My point is, Andy and Jennifer, it will be sunnier than where you're leaving. There will be a palm tree and you will wake up to 75 to 80 degree sunshine, and you'll be probably leaving a snowstorm in Connecticut. So that's my point of paradise. There's a pool and a margarita, and it'll be warm. So it'll give you a nice little summer break. Yes. So yeah. adoption. Yeah. So yes. So ultimately, in the end, it's about creating the system. So I just done a call. I did a mastermind call about an hour and a half ago. Yeah, we finished at 1:30, and ultimately, what it was in the end. So there's two things. You won't like the first answer. The first one's the leadership, and it's like I'm in chat. Like I have to be able to set the play here of where the business goes, and if I've let that go, well, that's another conversation around culture and entitlement and various things. However, I'm acutely aware that the norm inside of a PT clinic is nobody wants to sell anything, right? I want to touch the patients and I want to go. So that's where it becomes about the system that's internal. My at PPM, and it's a shame I don't know if any of your staff will come, but I'll probably have 50 to 60 staff in the room, and I do it on purpose. I like the staff coming because I get into their heads with what's acceptable and what's what grows the business, and the business owner needs your help and all of these types of things. But when it comes to the practical side of it, what I've got to get my staff to do, when I had the business, I had 17 or 18 staff. I had to basically get their acknowledgement. I don't need you to sell, but I need you to give my patients the choice. And I need you to let my patients know that other things exist. Because if you can't do that, then we're definitely in the wrong place. Like, you're definitely in the wrong environment. I'm going to create these other products. I'm not saying to you that you sell them. I'm saying to them, will you make sure that everyone knows they exist, and then ask the appropriate person in the business who will talk to them about it, how they move forward with it. And that's all they've got to do. Now, that might be, Jenny, right? Something like this. I'm not saying it's exactly this answer, but you attended that workshop on Saturday. It could be that you do a monthly class, and it's called a new patient orientation class. So every new patient has to come to that class, right? Now, they don't all come, but let's say 30% of the patients come because they want to know you and they want to know what else the business does and how it can help them. And there's no reason they wouldn't do that. And therefore, the business operates in a way that all of the staff are on board with just making sure that all of the patients know that Jenny is available on the third Thursday of the month for 2 hours. And Jenny talks to them at scale about the wellness and the regen and the membership and the ways that we can help you above and beyond physical therapy. So I don't need 9 physios to sell the membership. I need 9 physios to say, hey, what we do here is help you with a new patient indoctrination or a orientation kind of session with Jenny. The owner wants to meet you. She's amazing and she's fantastic and she loves you and all of this type of stuff. I would just need to get my physios to do that. Option 2, to give it to you early, you could go on an iPad, right, and talk about the business and what it does. And it's not just physio, and you offer this and you offer that. And then all I need to do is get the girl who runs the front desk to give every new patient an iPad with you on video for 5 minutes, explaining how cool the business is and what else it does. And they are to ask if they want to know more about that. And I might create some written material, and all my physios have to do is give the written material with little vouchers in it and little flyers in it that ask the front desk on the way out. So you start building it internally, and that's the only way you beat the culture of, it's not even culture, it's attitudinal, right? It's whatever we dress it up. It's like my stroppy 15-year-old who fucking want to clean his room. It's like, I can't kick him out, right? Well, my 12-year-old, I can't fucking kick him out, right? It's kind of like the problem of being his dad, right? But it's the same with the staff. It's attitudinal. Whichever way we dress it up, they have an attitude that isn't always congruent with what a commercial enterprise that you run needs. Now, the fight is too big at that level to like win them all. The next thing you would do is you'd find 1 or 2 who do. Like your 2 who are like your guys or your girls. Do you get me? You don't fight all 9 of them. You go find 2 of them and you go, look, this is what I need to do. Can you help me? Here's my suggestions. How can we get more of this? And you just play through them, and they become compensated better and given rewarded and various things. And that's usually my advice to bigger businesses, is don't fight them all because there'll be a mutiny. You find 2 and you just bring them into your little ecosystem. The other 7, whatever, those 2, come on in. Let's talk. I need your help. I've got some ideas. We're going to make some mistakes. We're going to get it wrong, but over a 12 to 18 month period, we're going to try and turn this around. That makes sense? So yes, there's ways, and it isn't easy at 9, but you got to create a system internally that like does the heavy lifting for them, and all we've got to then get them to do is agree at the core principle level that our job is to make our patients informed. And that was my DNA in my business. My business wasn't about healthcare. It was about informing. And my job is to inform the patient that they had all of these options. And if I didn't inform them of the options, my business didn't succeed. My business's job is to inform you of all of the options available to you, whether it's workshops, whether it's coaching, whether it's a marketing system, whether it's digital. That this is a tricky marketplace you're in, and we have to be careful because it's different, and it is, right? You're in Manhattan, aren't you? Yeah, it's a challenge. It's different. It's going to be nothing like Boca Raton or Baton Rouge or wherever. Like it's different, right? And we have to understand that. So our job is to educate you on what's available. And if we think things are not going to work, we have to tell you this, or that this is available. You want this, but there's the outcome. And equally, I think your physio business, your PT business is exactly the same. Every patient wants to know what's available. And is this the path, or is this the path that the physio wants to sell? So I had to get into their heads as a leader that actually this is not about a one-size-fits-all physio clinic. This is about informing our patients, educating our patients on other options that were available to help them live a terrific life. Not recover from back pain, live a terrific life. That makes sense. And that's why I take it back to what I said at the start. You won't like the first one because the first one's leadership, right? And like we always want to go, what can they do? And it's like, shit, actually, it's what can I do, right? Who am I? What do I believe in? What do I want? What hassle will I take? What will I tolerate? Like then it's like, oh shit, that's a whole new conversation now. But it's there, and it's nothing that everybody in that room that you're going to sit next to isn't gone through. The staff problems, where all your profit goes, 5 o'clock, say bye to your profit. Say at 9 o'clock, say hello. This is your life, my life. 9 o'clock, say hello to your problems. 5 o'clock, say bye to your profit. It's like, fuck. We signed up for this. Yeah. So lots. Yeah. Look forward to meeting you when you come. And we'll talk to you one-on-one, but obviously I'll put you in touch. Luke will already know who he's probably going to get you to talk to. But obviously Barry's listened to all of this as well. He can think of people that we can put you in touch with that have had similar sized businesses, 15, 16 staff. I imagine if you've got nine clinicians, which is fun. Todd would be a good one, Barry. Todd would be a very good one. Kim Gladfelter. Kim would tell you a few stories. Good couple of Kim Gladfelter from California dropped everything from all insurance in California, San Jose, 25 part-time staff when I met her. Oh my God, she was just like, how is she still alive? I had no idea. Like it was like death by 1,000 cuts. Imagine 25 part-time staff. I was just like, Kim, like this just doesn't. Nobody wanted to do anything. They didn't want to sell. They didn't want to do this. They had babies. They only wanted to do a day off, a day a week, and it was like, geez, Kim, how have we got to this? But she turned it around. So yeah, definitely Beth. But even Beth would be another one. She literally walked in and went, guys, we're going out a network. Boom, 10 physios. Obviously all concerned about that population of 70s and 80-year-olds. Like there's a more protective element at that age. That they're obviously the physios care about all their patients, but I think when it's pediatrics or seniors, there's a more like affectionate, nurturing kind of thing. So you dropping out of Medicare was like, oh, well, we're almost defending our patients. Like how do we deal with that? 45-year-old can just get on and whatever, but there's obviously a level of protection for a 70-year-old that the patients and the staff have between each other, and that needed challenging or managing as well, if you like. So yeah, everything you're going through will Beth. I'll definitely talk to Beth. She's fantastic, very very personable. Kim's wonderful, and Todd would be a similar sized business by the sounds of it, similar level of clinical staff. To talk about how he had to lose a couple of soldiers to get what he wanted, but it was worth it for him. The life he's got today. Pick your generals. This is my message. Pick your generals, 2 of them. Be prepared to lose a couple of soldiers. Some of them might not be on your Christmas card list. Me too. Yeah. All right. Good. Any more questions? Andy, are you happy? Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you there, Jennifer. Yeah, and get to know you. And there'll be a few from New York. Mark's coming, isn't he? Mark Lusk. Do you know Mark? Mark's in New York. Yeah. Have you come across Mark? He's a PT in the dancing space. He's amazing. He's in New York, in Manhattan. I'll introduce you to him when you come. He's worked with me. I met him. I did a webinar like what you did. He was the one I mentioned on the class. I think he came on Sunday. And Mark did a webinar, and I want to say I was in Cleveland or somewhere. I said, type in where you're from. And he said, I'm from New York, right? And I was like, Mark, I'm there next week. I said, do you want to meet for coffee? And he didn't think I was serious, right? So I found him on Facebook and I messaged him. I said, I'll meet you for coffee. And I went and met him in Manhattan somewhere for a coffee. Mark Lusky's called. Yeah, that's him. Check him out. And this is 2017, and he's been in our program ever since. He's amazing. I love him a bit. He's built a really nice business for dancing, for dancers. Just PT for dancers. Was he a dancer? He was on Broadway himself, wasn't he, for a while, I think. Yeah. So he's there. He often brings his front desk out as well. All right. Andy, any questions? Where have you been looking for your flight? Private, Andy? Yep. Private? Well, when we get that profit up, Andy, not the volume, we can get those private flights between Connecticut and Paradise. It's every hour, isn't it? Every hour. Yeah, every hour to New York. I go up there 2 or 3 times a year with the kids. I love it up there. Yeah. Look. Just wait till you start sharing money-making strategies with each other, right? See what this is about. Yeah, you've saved each other $30 on the flights. Now let's talk about making 50 grand a month extra. Yeah, no, amazing. It's what it's all about. It's what we love. Genuinely, when you see people connect, it's a lot easier when you've got people in your corner that can help you, with anything, leadership or staff or recruitment or whatever it is. Definitely, yeah. Use the code, Andy. And if you want that second seat, put that in. You'll use the code again. You can get basically the silver seat. So to help you, the silver seats get you to the back of the room. It doesn't get the food and all of the sort of caviar and everything that we put on. We have a member gold ticket if you want. That's a bit more expensive. In full transparency, it just covers the food and the drinks. Doesn't make any difference to me, but you get a better experience. It's up to you. So it's either the silver ticket gets you into the back of the room, the gold seat gets you to the front, but it also gets you for lunch with all of the members. It's full 3-course lunch with drinks and all included in the gold ticket price. So it's a better experience. You're upgrading, if you like. The events, as in. You are probably on my website. Just head over to that. You're on my website. Go to the link in the chat there, Andy. That's this site. That's this one. So if you go there, you'll see a yellow button. Click that. It'll take you to the options for the seats. Choose the 4-day one if you're coming to the pre-day with me. Choose the silver, which will probably be about $99 if you choose silver, and it might be about $350 if you choose gold. And the difference is you get the upgraded seat and you get the food included with all of the mastermind members. You will have got, I want to say silver. It depends what we offered, but you did that class. So if you want the other one, I can justify it. So just let me know if you want to do it. I'm more than happy to upgrade you. Because you'll only be in on the Friday anyway for lunch, won't you? I'll just put you in on the gold seat. I'll put. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can justify. I'll put you in on the gold. Barry, just upgrade that seat for me. Yeah, there were 2 free tickets for the silver one, generally for anybody who bought the course. But no, I'm more than happy if you come in on the Friday. I'll upgrade it. But obviously, you did that class with us, so it's easy. Yeah. It's supposed to inspire you to take action, Andy. That's what that music. We have a disconnect, does. Like, I think this is paradise, and you think that music is irritating. And I think it's supposed to be inspiring. I can't hear it. No, I couldn't hear it. We are in the Renaissance Hotel, which is right next to SeaWorld. For full, logistically, it's about 20 minutes in an Uber. Close to Universal. You've been to Disney area before you've been to Florida, Orlando. All right, lovely to talk to you. Yeah, it's nice to get to know you. I'll see you in a few weeks. All right, see you. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Jenny. Thank you. Thanks, Jenny. See you. Bye. Any questions I can help you with, Andy?